Sorry about that focus, guys. There we go. That's better. Today we're going to look at Lesson 12. We're still in Section 2.4 in your textbook. 2.4 has a lot of stuff, and so I'm trying to break it up so it's not as overwhelming. Today we're just going to graph linear equations using intercepts. So we're going to look at x-intercepts and y-intercepts. We're going to see how to find those when looking at a standard form equation. And then we'll do some examples and we'll be good to go. You have done this before. We did it in Algebra 1. I remember it's easy, and usually it feels like a break after doing all the other stuff that comes with this unit, with this section. Graphing using the intercepts usually comes as a nice, easy break. So keep that in mind. Again, it's review, so it should not be brand new information, but if it seems like brand new information, that's okay, because it's pretty easy, and I think that you guys will catch on very quickly. All right, so we're going to start with standard form. Okay, so let's take a look at standard form. So standard form is ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are real numbers not equal to 0. So you'll have a number in place of a, b, and c. Okay, and we're going to use those to find our intercepts. Now, an x-intercept is on the x-axis, that's horizontal, and at your x-intercept, your y is 0. So the coordinate point or ordered pair will be some number, comma, 0. That means you don't go up or down any. It's just on that horizontal line. Okay, the y-intercept is the opposite. Your x equals 0 and your ordered pair is 0, comma, some number, and it'll be on the y-axis, which is that up and down. So you're not going to go left or right any, you're just going to go up or down for the y-intercept. So take just a second, make sure you have this stuff written down. Okay, now I'm going to give you some short steps to follow to graph using standard form and the x and y intercepts. You may not need these, and you might. So just write them down just in case. So step 1, you're going to plug 0 in for x or y. It doesn't matter which one you start with, just pick one. Okay? Then you're going to solve for whatever variable is left. So if you plug in 0 for x, you solve for y. If you plug in 0 for y, you solve for x. But you'll see whichever variable is left there. And then the last thing is just graph the intercepts and make a line. Okay? And remember, I'll draw it one more time. This is your x-axis, this is your y-axis. Okay, let's look at some examples. So for number 1, we're going to have 3x plus y equals 6. Okay, so that's what you're given. Now, I'm going to write out all the steps for this one. I'm going to show you exactly how it works, why it works the way it does, and then I'm going to show you a shortcut that you may remember from Algebra 1. So I'm going to solve for the x-intercept first, okay? So for the x-intercept, I know that y equals 0. So I'm going to plug in a 0 for y. So 3x plus 0 equals 6. We know that that's just a 0. That cancels out, so we're left with 3x equals 6. Now I solve. Divide both sides by 3, and I get x equals 2, and I make my ordered pair, 2, 0. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to find the y-intercept. So for the y-intercept, x equals 0. So 3 times 0 plus y equals 6. We know 3 times 0 is just 0, so I'm left with y equals 6. It's already solved for me, so I make my ordered pair 0, 6, and there's my other coordinate. So my x-intercept, my y-intercept. We're going to put these on the graph. And on Math Excel, it gives you the graph. We're just going to sketch out a quick little one here just so you can see what's going to happen. So on the x, I need a 2. So let's say 2 is right there. On the y, I need a 6. Let's say 6 is up here. So I'm going to have a point at 2, 0, and 0, 6. And then I forgot my ruler. And so then I'll make a line through those 2 points. And that's it. Now, the shortcut is for solving. So when we're solving for x, we cover up the part of the equation that has y. And then it's just a one-step equation, easy to solve. When we're solving for y, we cover up x, and we're left with a one-step equation, or maybe a no-step equation to solve, okay? So that's the shortcut. You don't have to plug in the 0. You can just cover up part of the problem, because we know when we plug that 0 in, something's going to cancel out. Okay, here's example number 2. I want you to pause the video, give it a try, see if you can figure it out. Okay, let's check your answers. So first I'm going to look for the x-intercept. So that means I'm going to cover up y. So I'm left with negative x equals 8. So negative x equals 8. I divide both sides by negative 1, or just swap the signs. So x equals negative 8. My ordered pair is negative 8, 0. Okay, for the y-intercept, I'm going to cover up the x. So I have 2y equals 8. Divide by 2. And we get y equals 4. And so my ordered pair is 0, 4. Now, let's plot that on a graph. We've got x and y. Negative 8, 0. So negative 8 is probably somewhere over here. 0, 4 is probably somewhere right here. So make your 2 points and connect with a line. Okay, here are 3 more examples. Pause the video, give these a try, see if you can solve for the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts, and think about what those graphs would look like. Sketch them out in your notes. Okay, let's check your answers. So number 3, so if I'm going to solve for x, I'm going to cover up the y, and I get negative 4x equals 20. Divide by negative 4. And x equals negative 5, so my ordered pair is negative 5, 0. I'm going to do the same thing for the y-intercept, except I'm going to cover up the x, so I have 5y equals 20. So I divide both sides by 5, get y equals 4, so my ordered pair is 0, 4. If we were going to put that on a graph, we have x and y, so negative 5 on the x, 4 on the y, make 2 points, and connect with a line. Okay, number 3. First, I'm going to solve for the x-intercept, so I'm going to cover up the y. So I have 3x equals negative 3. I divide both sides by 3, and I get x equals negative 1. My ordered pair will be negative 1, 0. Solve for y, I cover up x. I'm left with y equals negative 3. And there's nothing else for me to do, so my ordered pair is just negative 1, or 0, negative 3. So sorry. All right, let's plot it on a graph. We have our x and our y. Our x is negative 1, 0. Let's say it's right there. And then 0, negative 3 is our y-intercept. Connect and make a line. All right, and one more. So for number 5, let's solve for x first. Cover up y. Negative 6x equals 12. You divide both sides by negative 6, and you get x equals negative 2. So your ordered pair is negative 2, 0. All right, the other one is 4y equals 12. Divide both sides by 4. You get y equals 3. So your ordered pair is 0, 3. And now we place those on the number line, or on the graph. So we have negative 2, 0, and 0, 3, and you make a line. Now, For some reason, all of our example problems, the x is negative. That doesn't always happen. The x could be positive. It could be over on this side. Let's see. Did I? Yeah, that's right. Sorry. I was thinking that I wrote something down wrong, but I didn't. We're all good. So your y is 3. For this one, your x is negative 2. But like I was saying, your x isn't always negative. It could be a positive, and that's fine. These are just some examples. You're going to work them out the same way in Math Excel and graph them on the graph. As always, if you need help, let me know. Hit the Ask My Instructor button. Send me an email. Or rewind and you can watch the video and do the examples as many times as you need. Have a great day.